Nothing says happy birthday like Mufasa sprawled lifeless in the valley. Some graduation yard signs sting a little more than others. And what about that bear that had to learn to live life off the wall? Living off the wall? It's a great song. Let's take a look on the bright side. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to The Bright Side. I'm your host, Bob Herzog. After a week away, I'm excited to once again take a stroll with you along the happy side of the information superhighway. Wide lanes over here, like Kramer adopted this section or something. Light traffic. I should note that there will be some changes with the next couple of episodes as well. More on that later, but let's get right into it. Now look, because this is a week in review kind of situation, I realize that by the time you get here, there are certain things you've already seen, you've already heard, you already know. Our first story is a great example. The California teenager shoving that bear. You've seen it, and you've seen it again. But Christine Lazar spoke with that teen and her family about their Memorial Day weekend.
A mama bear walking on a backyard wall with her two cubs. When the homeowner's three dogs rush toward her, the bear, trying to protect her babies, picks up one of the dogs by its vest. Then watch as Haley Marinico lunges at the bear and pushes her off the ledge. Now, watch the video again, knowing that Haley is just 17 years old.
In that moment, I don't have much time to think. I run over to the bear, and the first thing I think to do is to push the bear off the ledge it's standing on, and it will hopefully release my dog. And somehow, thank God, it works.
Haley then picks up her dogs and runs inside.
What was going through your mind when you were face to face with this bear?
Honestly, the only thing I had in mind was to protect my dogs, and that's what I did.
Haley's frantic parents can be heard shouting at her in the background.
It's horrifying to see your daughter approach a huge bear, and just thinking that the bear could have swiped at her face and we would be having another kind of news today.
Wildlife experts say the bear was simply trying to protect her cubs. California only has American black bears.
And they are not inherently aggressive towards humans or our pets. She was reacting to the perceived threat of the dogs. And if this animal was inherently aggressive, those dogs probably would have gotten attacked instead of just swiped at.
Do not push bears. Do not get close to bears. You do not want to get unlucky. I just happened to come out unscathed.
Now, experts say this is the time of year when black bears wake up from semi-hibernation, similar to me, about 4 p.m. on weekday afternoons. But this makes bear sightings more common. If you do come face to face with a bear, no touching. No touch. Instead, make a lot of noise to scare it away. Perhaps something like this. Whoopie-woo! Go away, bear! Woo! 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 So you're better off just staying away from the bears, unless the conditions are set up for you to get a little closer. And new video shows one of those kinds of situations and also shows one of the rarest and cutest animals on Earth. Take a look at the world's only captive brown and white panda. Kizai made its debut in China recently. Now, I just told you not to touch bears, and all I want is for that thing to cradle me gently in its bosom. Researchers believe the panda's mom abandoned it out in the wild because of its color. It was rescued, it was nursed back to health. Still a lot of mysteries about giant pandas, including just how often they're born with brown fur. Nothing but the bare necessities here to start the program this week, apparently, but this one is a decidedly sillier old bear, has trouble on blustery days, too. The Guinness World Record for the largest Winnie the Pooh collection belongs to a woman in Vernon, Wisconsin. Deb Hoffman owns more than 20,000 pieces of Pooh. James Groh takes a deep dive into the Pooh. Ha!
These were actually from a claw machine in Shanghai This is a Tigger guitar from the 90s. You know, people call me the crazy Winnie the Pooh lady, and I would say that that's probably correct. I definitely associate with the character.
That's Deb Hoffman. She lives in Waukesha County and has the world's largest collection of Winnie the Pooh memorabilia.
Okay, this was my holy grail. I looked for this guy for 9 years, and he's numbered 20,000 in the collection.
You won't believe what she was offered.
I've been offered $25,000 for it. I did not pay that for it.
Some of the stuff she bought at thrift stores for pennies. Others cost a pretty penny. Her estimated value?
I'm thinking it has to be over $1 million.
Deb started collecting Winnie the Pooh memorabilia around 30 years ago when she was in her 20s. She wanted to buy this specific novelty phone. The rest is history.
I love the hunt of having to find something.
So what's her end game? Eventually, it will all be donated.
When I go to the big honeypot in the sky, where is it all going? It's going to Canada.
White River, Canada. That's the place where the bear that inspired the Winnie the Pooh series was found. But until then, she will keep collecting.
These are from the 1940s. They're basically in mint condition.
I was always a T-I-double-G-er kind of guy. But anyway, a lot of Disney merch in there, obviously. So that will be our next theme. And I have to tell you, this story absolutely cracks me up. Kind of my favorite, Lion King. Great Disney movie. Just a great movie in general. Powerful and fun and it's sad. So imagine when a 3-year-old in Minnesota asked for a Lion King cake that didn't go all Hakuna Matata with Timon and Pumbaa or Simba not being able to wait to be king. But instead, she wanted her cake to feature a dead Mufasa down in the valley after being flung there by Scar and trampled by wildebeests. But there's a reason. Take a look.
What is Scar saying? I'm gonna be king.
There was never a doubt the Lion King would factor into Leona Faye's 3rd birthday party. She loves it.
Romantic.
So Leona asked for a cake.
Who's your favorite character in The Lion King?
Mufasa.
A cake depicting a very specific scene from the movie.
And I felt really embarrassed asking because I thought they would think that I was a horrible parent, you know. I was like, so here's the thing. This is what my child said. I thought it was funny. We're just gonna go with it.
Leona wanted the moment that's been ripping hearts out since the mid-90s, Mufasa's death. That way, Leona said, everyone would be so sad they wouldn't want to eat the cake and she'd have it all to herself.
How'd it taste?
Good. So yummy, so yummy.
Really gets comedy, and that's important in our family, that you can tell a joke and sell a joke, and she's already figuring that out at the age of 3.
Rosalie Davis with the Thirsty Whale Bakery in North Minneapolis brought the unique request to life.
Normally the 3-year-old cakes don't have dead characters on them.
Now Rosalie just wants to meet Leona.
The person asking for the cake was probably more interesting than the cake.
The sweet and yes, empathetic 3-year-old's popularity has grown beyond just Twin Cities cake decorators. Her Uncle Casey's tweet about it has nearly 750,000 likes.
I've been joking that every year she's got to go more viral.
One cake at a time.
Let's just fulfill this really random cake request that we'll look back at in like 10 years and laugh.
And the thing is, it's like a really good cake, too. Like, that is clearly a dead Mufasa. Now, Leona, by the way, already knows that she wants a Cinderella cake for her 4th birthday, but wait, she wants the evil stepmother to be included in the design because of course she does. All right, now we go all bippity-boppity-boo. Speaking of Cinderella, how about a fairy godmother? A Wisconsin woman is being called the fairy godmother of her own town.
It makes them happy. One of the girls, I've never met a princess before. She's just twirling around, and it's just, that's the thanks I get. I love it.
Judy Wolf gives away prom gowns and wedding dresses for free. She started with her daughter's old formal dresses. Now many of the gowns are donated or Judy buys them herself. She also teaches girls how to sew tiny gowns for stillborn babies. Judy has given back all of her life. She used to be a school nurse aide, but was put on permanent disability in 2002. Judy was a 9/11 volunteer, was exposed to toxic dust back then. But she says working on the dresses is healing.
I still don't regret going. I mean, I look at all the people that I was able to help, even though I'm,
sick. But there was a lot of people I could help while I was there.
To date, Judy has given away 500 dresses. And the only thing she asks of her customers is that they pay it forward and give their dress to someone else when they're done with it. I love that story. I also love graduation season. Everybody's so proud and happy. Yard signs congratulating two graduating brothers in a Houston suburb, though, are going viral for very interesting reasons. As Myra Moreno reports, the family's still laughing about Dad's big joke.
Two signs, one big joke for the Parapuram family.
I never expected him to post it. I thought it would be just there and people would get a smile out of it.
It's common to see graduation signs in their Cypress neighborhood, so when Dad talked about putting up theirs, they joked about Ryan being the favorite son. So the older brother Justin said he would put up a yard sign showcasing his younger brother as valedictorian, and his sign, well, would reflect the opposite. He took a pic, posted it to Twitter, and then...
I was actually on vacation at the time, and I was coming off the plane, and I saw 100,000 likes. I'm like, that's a little past my expectations, to say the least.
It started going viral. Some people got the joke, others took it a little too serious.
A lot of people said, I'm putting him down and, I'm bragging about him.
Truth is, he's equally proud of both.
I'm really, really proud of especially Justin.
As you can see, laughs and jokes run freely in the family. And after 4 long years with many struggles in between, like the pandemic and the winter freeze, they just wanted something to laugh about. They never expected their joke to go viral.
My dad's taught me so much about what it means to really care about your family and to also be able to, crack jokes and have a good time with each other.
In spite of some of the serious comments, the Parapuram family still gets a kick out of it.
I just think that this entire thing was hilarious, and it was just very amusing to say at the very least.
After this experience, no more signs. I'm done.
I love it. I just love that. Some people miss the joke, though. It happens. Earlier, I said like thousands of pieces of poo. I thought it was hilarious. Some people probably not. Anyway, we've got time for one more. One more to inspire. After getting separated for several years, two childhood best friends are back together in a northern Kentucky home. A local group which helps people with developmental and intellectual disabilities made it all happen. And my friend Alexa Helwig introduces us to Cheryl and Dawn.
This house never quite felt like a home for Cheryl Haas. Years ago, her family built it to help with her special needs, and they lived right next door.
As her parents were aging, she lived here for several years, and then as they were aging, it wasn't very easy for them to take care of her needs anymore, so she went into another agency that provides residential just like we do.
Lucky for Cheryl, her childhood best friend Dawn Baker lived there, but that home eventually closed and the duo was separated for years until the Point Arc got involved.
And I even remember when Dawn first came to us talking, about her best friend and, wondering where she's at, and it was Cheryl. And we got Cheryl not too long after that.
The Point Arc helps people with developmental and intellectual disabilities live a more fulfilling life. When Cheryl's house went up for sale, the organization bought it, reuniting them as roommates.
When you found out that you were going to live in this house with Dawn, were you excited?
Yes, I was.
The house is staffed 24 hours a day, but Cheryl and Dawn help each other like no one else can.
She needs somebody around for her when she has trouble talking, and I can understand her.
Back together forever, their friendship can never fade. Cheryl's old house finally feels like a new home with a best friend by her side.
I'm so happy just being in here.
In Erlanger, Alexa Helwig, Local 12 News.
I just love that story so much. There's nothing like having a really, really good friend. Now, I mentioned things are going to be a little different the next couple of weeks. I will be out the next 2 Fridays. And speaking of really good friends, at least next week, and she's sitting over there, she's like, oh my gosh, you're totally committing to this right now, aren't you? And I am. Jen Dalton is going to be leading you down the bright side path for the next week at least, maybe next 2 weeks, depending on her schedule. So the bright side will still be around, but with a guest host the next couple of weeks. She's a good friend. Maybe you've got a good friend out there who, needs to take a look. On the bright side,